Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Oregon Trail 2 here on the L0rdMasta channel. Yes sir, it's that time of the year where almost every 3 months, unless there's something that just mandates a circumstance, that I would be doing an Oregon Trail video this time, as per tradition here on this channel. But I got a lot of things to say during the trail, of course, going to wherever. But that'll be up to me and all that. So where do we go from here to there? You know, point A to point B without dying, of course, because you know that's the main goal of the Oregon Trail. So yeah, it's been a while since I've done it. I mean, the last time I played that game on purpose was actually from the last video I recorded months back. So there was no, you know, I was playing for free time for, you know, for kicks and all that, but no, this is actually the first time in a while, so I might be a little rusty on that. Well, what do you mean, a little rusty, L0rdMasta? You've been playing that game since 1999. You're about to turn 30 for Christ. Oh, yeah, by the way, in September 11th, which is my birthday, which of course that's my real life birthday, I will be turning 30. I'm going to be 30 years old. So yeah, been on this earth for 30 years. I've seen a lot of things. Yeah, lived a pretty interesting life, but there's more to it than that. I mean, I'll talk more about my recent experience and so on and so forth. So we'll get on with the trail here. I'll figure out where to, you know, start and where to go, which of course, as I always do, I just skip the part where I go from where, what skills and all that, and names, because that takes up a bit too much of the recording time, so I always cut that part. Well, I hope you people are up for this next trail, which I'll try to be at my best entertaining self and whatnot, and talking about other things, like it's cabaret or something. So, let's go to this place now. Alright, you're a surveyor who has come to St. Joseph in 1846 for the purpose of setting off on a journey west to the Rogue River Valley. I already bought a Conestoga wagon, but I still need to buy the supplies I need for my journey. As I wander the streets of St. Joseph, you see various stores that should be able to provide you with supplies, provided you have enough cash. You should also see people who may be able to give you some good advice, or in some cases some bad advice, because some people are just jackasses that you caught them on a bad day. But anyways,
the merchants here in town offer basic packages of supplies based on the size of one's party and estimated length of journey. Of course, you can shop around on your own or add to the basic set. So, which package would you like?
as a surveyor, you start with $900. Plus the Conestoga wagon that you already bought. So, give me 6 months, darling. I mean, I was trying to figure out a word quickly because, you know, saying any other event would be considered, you know, not so classy. Gotta be careful what you say these days, especially on your 30th birthday. I mean, come on. I mean, your 30th birthday. March 1st, 1846, Mexican president refuses to receive U.S. ambassador. Historically, this was the year that the Mexican-American War was going on at that time, or was about to begin. I mean, my memory on old U.S. history, especially that I live in Texas nearby. What do you mean, nearby? You are in... Damn it! What's the matter with you? What I'm trying to say is, let me see this here, man. Independent Republic of Texas, 1845 here. This is 1846, so Oregon country, 1846, so this became that. This is still Mexican territory at this time, so yeah, I believe this was the year that the Mexican-American War was kicked off. Or, what I remember in my old history books, we simply called it the Mexican War. Me being a big history buff, but North American history for me is a little hazy for me. except for the obvious ones. It's common knowledge as I mean, what are you thinking, Lord Master? You're born on September 11th. On the calendar, it says Patriot Day. You know what that means. Anyway, go get the ox. 4 of them. I'm sure you can afford, so be careful with what you spend. Actually, you may want to tone it down at 8. Because, you know, there's some important things you gotta buy, like all the medicines. You gotta think, well, I had something else in my mind, but I will talk more as soon as we sell off of St. Joseph. Because I know I got a lot to say on my recent experience in life. Mostly good. Very good. Yeah. I was about to say, had a time of my life. Well, it was actually during a short period of time when me and my real-life brother, which I'll say his stage name, Loki Jarsson. Shout out to you, Loki, if you happen to be watching. Highly doubt it. But still, I will give a shout out to his podcast in just a moment, because I was part of a recent episode of it. What am I missing? Well, since it's winter, you might as well get the winter coats and scarves. The reason I was a bit hesitant, I'm like, don't you know how much this costs? And you gotta get the important ones, like the water, the canteens, and the kegs. I mean, as much as I would like to buy shovels or pickaxes, no, rope. Get the ropes. You know, for steep hills, especially when we get to later in the trail. You gotta have the salt, you know, the salted meat or salted fish. Fish! Yeah, get the fishing tools. No, we gotta get the nets. Get the poles with the fishing spear. You know what? No. There's more to this. Get the hammers. Because, you know, if your wagon part breaks, how are you going to fix it if you don't got any nails? And also give me a pickaxe, so that way I will use that pickaxe to break through the ice of the river so I can go fishing. Yeah. And you're a bit giddy today, I know. You're about to be in your 30s. You got a full life ahead of you. The most rewarding chapter of your life is coming up. First thing out, you need to pick a wagon train to travel with. The following wagon trains about the ready to set out for the Rogue River Valley. Which do you want to go with? You're gaming the one the most. But let me tell you something. Why Rogue River Valley? Because I decided on this trail, let's do the earliest start date when the Rogue River Valley first became a thing. And as it's mentioned on that, this became Oregon country. In the US, you could still travel to Willamette Valley, Oregon City area in earlier years, but I wanted to go from St. Joseph to Rogue River Valley on its earliest start date when this appeared. There ain't no Jacksonville, Oregon. So we're not going to Oregon, we're going to South Oregon. That's different, you see. It's set to 12 hours per day because we got a long road ahead of us. And I forgot to introduce you to some of my party members. I am L0rdMasta, you know, the birthday boy himself. We got John Vega, just a name I remember from long ago. I never met the guy, but I remember seeing that name and I use him often. I forgot what he does because he exists in the world. And if the real John Vega was watching this video, I want to say thank you for watching. And this is obviously a Crusader Kings 3 reference due to the ongoing Al-Fargani series. This is Gurak, which we don't know which Gurak exactly because there were about, as of this recording, about 4 or 5 Guraks. So, I mean, as of this recording, the current reigning Vajpur, it's a Sogdian word for emperor. Gurak IV, that's the current one that's recording. Also, we got Mig Elso, which I named him after a guy who developed one of those old shareware games that has blackjack in it. So I don't know if he's still in the game developing, producing, creating business anymore. I mean, I highly doubt it, since it was dated back in the 90s. Or if he's even alive. That's kind of, yeah. And then, you gotta have a female with you. This is Relene Velia, which is a name of my created character from Elder Scrolls Online. She's an Imperial. Hence the name like that. Obviously, I just used the Imperial Race Name Generator thing, FantasyNameGenerator.org, which is a go-to website where I come up with fictional names of characters of various cultures, ethnicities, even in pop culture and all that. And of course, when Lord Rez is around, his main man, Horatio, isn't far. You all know who Horatio is. Of course, there ain't no hunting allowed this area because nobody wants to hear any of the, rifle fire. Oh, God, I just remembered something. Take good care of that rifle for Christ's sake, because if you lose it, you're boned.
The ice looks thick enough to just drive our wagons across.
Well, it was 32 degrees, so it had to be freezing. Just to keep sure that the ice is still good and solid. And now we got Walnut Creek, 21 feet in width.
I don't see how we can cross right now. The ice isn't thick enough. Maybe we can break through the ice and then ford or float.
Let me try this again.
I don't see how we can cross right now. The ice isn't thick enough. Maybe we can break through the ice and then ford or float.
It's a me thing than anything else.
What are we waiting for?
I'll tell you what we're waiting for. Cross the ice. I was tempted to rest because I noticed the higher temperature, because above freezing could make the ice, break apart. And do we want to go 3 in a row? 140 feet in width?
I don't know about this one. What do you think we ought to do here?
I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I'm no great judge of these rivers. Back at the last one, I nearly had a major mishap. I think this time I'll just follow the lead of you folks.
Well, is there any advice on that?
None that you'd probably want to take.
Ah! Well, 3 times ain't a charm. Nobody drowned. Well, of course, because the temperature went up. And then I went back to being frozen again. There was no snow involved. It's just this part of the world happens to be warm. And down to the next river. Oh, no. It's not totally frozen at all. Look. Should we chance it? What do you say? What do you hit?
This river doesn't look too deep. Let's ford it.
You say ford?
I think we should cross the river now.
You say cross the river, even though it didn't say.
I reckon fording's the best way to cross this river.
Well, I wouldn't cross over the ice. That makes me nervous.
No. Not everything's all iced. You see? You may look like so, but there's a part of the river where there's still water that's, traversable. So we gotta ford it. See? What did I tell you? Oh, don't tell me you lose that rifle. Check. You lost the rifle. Lord Master, how could you? Go back to that diary. Yeah, you lost the bullets, but don't you know the rifle is also part of the various other items that were lost? See? You do not have any firearms, so you cannot go hunting. Well, then, I guess you're gonna have to make do with what you bought in the stores as part of the, free... There's words for it. Package of supplies. Yeah, basic package of supplies. Blizzard!
Can't make much progress in weather like this. It would be risky to continue until the snow lets up.
No, we gotta continue. Oh gosh, good luck has frostbite.
The way to treat frostbite is to warm the affected areas gradually. Don't do it too quickly, or you'll do more harm than good.
Well, better gradually warm the affected area then.
I recommend that we halt the wagon train for a time being and warm ourselves around the campfires.
But we ain't got no rifle. Don't you know we could possibly be in danger of ice termites?
About the only thing you can do for a bad cold is get lots of rest and drink lots of fluids.
See, I told you I need a rifle because there might be a danger of those kind of people out there.
Let's just wait here and see what they're gonna do. Frankly, I don't like the looks of them.
Yeah, I agree with you, ma'am. Just don't come here. If you do, then please be nice.
Well, what have we here?
Oh.
Some more eastern greenhorns trying their luck at crossing the wilderness.
They saw us. And now we got this wise guy here. It's like strangers ahead, and they're like, oh crap, I don't have a gun, so we don't have any means of protection. So let's just wait here. Maybe they won't see us. And he's like, oh, he sees us. And then he says,
well, what have we here? Some more eastern greenhorns trying their luck at crossing the wilderness.
oh, tell me more.
I ain't got to say nothing to you if I don't want to.
You have any advice?
None that I'm prepared to offer you.
Well, at least we didn't approach that guy because there would have been a high chance of thievery. Nobody wants to have that in their conscience. Okay, now let's take a break here for a moment. That I would like to say, despite frostbite, easy for me to say, Gurax, and Lena also has bad cough. This day of recording was on September 8th, and I just want to give a little reminder that this was recorded. I'm recording this video literally 3 hours after the announcement that Queen Elizabeth II passed away. She was 96. So I just want to pay my respects to the Queen. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure many of you, and I'm sure everybody else in the world has differing opinions about her or the royal family and monarchy and stuff. I mean, that's none of my business, right? So don't bring that business over here. So you all keep it to yourselves, even to myself. I'm keeping my opinions to myself because I'm a better man. I'm a gentleman in such affairs, right? So now let's switch it up to some other experiences that we'll be having here, as well as my past experiences of what's been going on with me on this life, L0rdMasta. Nebraska. No Fort Kearney yet. That wasn't established yet. Things are getting colder out here. But hey, since you're in Plum Creek, you know what that means, right? Typically, if this was warm, you're crossing rattlesnake territory. So let's rest here for about 4 days. So now, let's see. Oh yeah, the upcoming pod. You already had frostbite, Gooduck.
What of it? If frostbite were the worst thing we had to worry about, we'd be in good shape.
Yeah, you already had frostbite, Gooduck. You can't get it the second time, unless you're the man that wears sandals. God damn it. Ever since we lost that rifle, things turned vastly worse. God blast it. Whatever you do, don't die on my watch, otherwise I'm gonna go on a bit of an unhappy tirade of such things. I was expecting a death.
But stop and rest in this here freezing weather? Heck, if you ask me, we better keep moving.
You know what? Wait for goodness. I can't go anymore. Just get above freezing, alright? That's not above freezing. What the hell is this? Everybody's all good. Yes. All good. Just John Vega and Relena Villia who are doing very well for themselves. and I'm in no mood to trade for a level. I'd rather buy it for myself because I got money, you see. $88 of them. Now, let me tell you something, people. Now I can talk about my experiences. Well, but first, let me promote this well, it's not upcoming. It's just been released a good couple of days ago of this podcast from the Internet's Worst Gaming Podcast, featuring my brother, Loki Jarson, and the always often guest, L0rdMasta. Yeah, I was there for another, one of those episodes of that podcast because we decided to talk about something that's we have in common, and it's rather esoteric, as my brother likes to use. In the most recent episode of the podcast, we talked about, mainly two things. One was about the Mafia. No, not the Mafia, but the games, trilogy of games called Mafia, where I played this, this remastered one. Yeah, it was the definitive edition, Mafia. The definitive edition is the one I played on. It's called from Hangar 13. And so, yeah, it's crime fiction and all this. And I may have tried to get into a few Sopranos jokes because you know how much I love the Sopranos. And also in that podcast, which during that time, prior to recording, I'll get moving across the ice. I'll talk more in just a second. Oh, hell. Hope nobody dies or gets severely injured. I want you to lock the wheels. Lock the wheels and then put the skis on the wheels and it'll slide down just fine. Look at the tracks, you see. That's how they may have done it. See? My suggestion worked. Now, a few weeks ago, me and Loki, I'm going to keep calling him Loki because I just want to protect his real life name, alright? Even when they send packages of mail, in the mail listings, they do call him Loki Jarson. So, it's Masta and Loki, alright? Not Lord and Loki. No, that sounds like a law firm. Lord and Loki for your whatever needs. And then I'll give a little shout out to the local injury lawyer from Texas, Wayne Wright. You deserve respect and justice, and we demand it. I don't know if he's still active or not, but otherwise I would have given a shout out to Jim Rattler, the Texas Hammer. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen those commercials. I'm wondering if they're still active. Again, this is a Texas thing, all right, with me. Now, please get on with what you're trying to say, L0rdMasta. Yeah. We watched a bunch of movies. Yeah, a lot of movies. But the movies in particular that we addressed here on the podcast was all the great movies from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, from Marvel Studios. Which, prior to that, before we started doing that watch-along, I watched Iron Man 2. And I enjoyed it. In fact, my thoughts on it is, I think it's still there. Let me bring that up on my old notes. On my thoughts of these movies. Yes. Okay. I enjoyed Iron Man 2 because I saw it on television. It was on TNT, which they used to know drama, depending on who you ask.
Let's move on.
Yes. And also watched the Avengers 2012. Not the Avengers, the old TV series from the 60s with, Emma Peel and what the other guy's name is. Yeah, that one long ago. So, yeah, the Avengers, or what they call in United Kingdom as Avengers Assemble. I really enjoyed it for what it is, but it was great when I later had the thoughts. And then watched Captain America, The Winter Soldier, which my thoughts was, it was fun. I very much enjoyed it, much more. Which, if you were to tell me the list of those movies, that's in like my top 5. possibly 3. I also watched Avengers Age of Ultron, which, if I say I mean me and Brother. Yes, so I kind of agree with most of the other people's thoughts about that and such. Yeah, and some people say that the Avengers Age of Ultron movie is like the weakest. But if you were to ask my opinion, since I'm much more of a positive person and open-minded, I say it's good, but not great. Much like I would say the same thing about The Sopranos. Like, I like to think all the episodes are great, with the ones that aren't great are still good. And that's how I feel about it. But if you want to hear more about my thoughts in depth of each and one of these movies to break down, listen to the Internet's Worst Game podcast and find the most recent episode if you want to get more thoughts on it. I'm only giving you my, initial thoughts of how I reacted at that time. Captain America Civil War, which we actually watched that last year due to the relevance of the Black Widow movie that I watched, in which I kind of agree with my brother. I would put it up as like my absolute favorite of all the movies of the whole saga and all that. So that's my number 1. And then we took a bit of detour to Guardians of the Galaxy, just the first one, because of the whole Infinity Stones thing. And, let me see. Drop the wagon and float. I gotta go buy that rifle. How much? $30! You drive a hard bargain, mister.
I'm the Shoshone wife of a white trapper. We've traveled far from the western mountains to trade here at the fort.
Oh, tell me more until I gather my thoughts on more of the things I have to say about the movies.
The English translation of my name is Dancing Water Woman, but my husband calls me Marie. I travel with him wherever he goes and help him in his work.
You have advice?
My people, the Shoshone, are good friends to the wagon travelers. You will be entering Shoshone lands soon after South Pass. Don't abuse our friendship and hospitality.
Alright, gotta trade a bit of it. Hey, chickens, eggs. You can't run out of food if you ain't got no chickens. If you ain't got no chicken, well, eggs come from chickens, yeah? Well, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? And also, it seems that winter's going away, so I'll be willing to give you a winter coat for these 2 chickens. A fair trade, I might say. But there's more. I need your nails and chains. Oh, you still got the bullets, right? Yes, sir. Wait, I just remembered something else. You don't happen to have a rifle or shotgun, Chief, do you? Nope, you have to get them at gunsmiths, unfortunately. Right, where was I? Yeah, watched Guardians of the Galaxy, took a detour. It was pretty entertaining to me. And then we watched Avengers Infinity War. All I gotta say, just whew, man. But in actuality, my thoughts was greatest I've ever seen in that genre. In fact, after the movie's end, when they rolled the credits, I turned to my left, to my brother, as we were sitting on a couch together, on a big screen TV. My first words after watching was, "Oh, God." Just I didn't know that. And I couldn't imagine what it must have been like for any of you, if any of you people are fans of the MCU or not, but you gotta imagine what it must have been like for seeing that conclusion, and you gotta wait 1 more year to see the conclusion of that whole Infinity Saga, as it was called. But for me, we only waited 1 day, because I didn't watch those movies when they came out, because I had different interests and I was into different things. I mean, all those movies I'm mentioning here is because I actually watched them for the first time in my life. So that's why we did this watch along during the past 3 to 4 days of watching these movies while our parents were on vacation in Vegas. So after Infinity War, and we waited one day, and I was trying to mentally prepare myself for the next movie because I didn't know what to expect and all that. And Avengers Endgame, which was the last one that we watched, my thoughts was, it was great. A satisfying conclusion to the Infinity Saga. Again, I only gave you my initial thoughts. If you want to hear more about my thoughts as well as my brother's thoughts on each and one of these movies that we'll be breaking down here, go listen to the most recent episode of the Internet's Worst Gaming Podcast. It's from an episode called Merry Marvel Mafia. Yeah. And all that. And also, I can't seem to remember if I ever mentioned the Hawkeye series, which is the only MCU series I ever watched due to the relevance of the Black Widow movie last year, which I very much enjoyed it myself. And I really liked Kate Bishop and Haley Steinfeld. Oh, and speaking of Haley Steinfeld, before we hunt here at Register Cliff where I'm expected to die, I want to give a shout out to Haley Steinfeld on her most, well, I wouldn't say most recently, it's pretty recent, like say 2 months ago in July, late July, that her, I would like to think hit single, but it's not been getting a lot of promotion or press by Republic Records, which I have no idea what the hell they're doing over there. But as a person who's been a big fan of Haley Steinfeld's work as of late, and I just want to give a shout out that I really like her song, Coast, featuring Anderson .Paak. I mean, if you're into pop, this is a good song for you to listen to. I mean, may I be willing to support anybody's works and all that. I'm giving that a shout out and giving her a nod. And so don't worry, I'm with you. You are a modern Renaissance woman. But then again, I doubt that Haley would be watching this video. Much like how many Oregon Trails ago that I apologized to Billie Eilish. But I haven't, really, I'm not saying heard back from it. It's just, I just only wanted to say it out here. It's because of a stupid joke I made with friends that I know of. Not from friends on Discord, or other social circles. A different one. Okay, one more shout out before we finally get on with the trail. Oh, well, on the hunt and then the trail. So another shout out I'll give is another actress who also got into, singing just like Haley Steinfeld. And I want to give a shout out to Madison Davenport. She isn't that well known as compared to others, all the other ones that you may or may not know of. Which she recently released her song called Monsters, and it's her very first song that she says that she wanted to do that for years, and it's finally released, and I very much enjoyed it. Even as I gave her that shout out, she actually replied to, no, she didn't reply. She replied to me on Instagram talking about my upcoming birthday, but liked my recent tweet on Twitter, which I will not give away here because that's my personal Twitter. There is no L0rdMasta Twitter. There's my real life Twitter, which I'm not going to give you that information because, that's just who I am. I'm a very private but nice person in real life. I keep my real life self and the L0rdMasta personality separate. So that's all I've got to say about that. So let's get hunting, shall we? Prepare to die, L0rdMasta. But if you somehow survive this, you are worthy. But if you somehow survive the animal bite and the mauling, well, just consider yourself unlucky. Actually, there is one more shout out that I'll give, as I will go hunt to my oblivion. It's Register Cliff because it's the place where hunters go to die. I often bring it up. Anyways, my last shout out of this video, oh my goodness, is FF Frostlight. Yes, my other brother, FF Frostlight. That's his name of his Twitch account. Although he's kind of, sometimes he's active on Twitch, sometimes he isn't. But I mean, I don't keep up with him as much as I really should, honestly. Because you know how my work schedule, my work ethic and basis, I think that should be enough. You should not waste too many bullets, because don't you know that you have little money? So before we get out of this hunting zone, that I will say that, oh, and also don't reload it, because you don't want to have an accidental gunshot. So yeah, brother, if you're watching this Oregon Trail video, I hope you are enjoying it so far, because don't worry, things will get picked up from here. Starting right now. Nothing happened. Oh, thank God. Didn't get mauled, didn't get bit, didn't get shot, didn't get killed. Yeah, it's all good. Even without the rifle shotgun sheep, which is supposed to prevent accidental gunshots. But it don't prevent angry-ass animals from coming over there and maul you or bite you for hunting in retaliation. So, what else am I going to talk about? We covered the MCU, covered the mob, well, mostly the mob, and the shout-outs to Haley and Madison and my brothers. What the else? Oh, yes, since Guruk is here, Crusader Kings, of course. For those of you that don't keep up with my YouTube channel for whatever reason, and I enjoy it, you understand that there's this ongoing Crusader Kings 3 series called L0rdMasta, which is the first Muslim playthrough I ever done for Crusader Kings, but it's a different kind of Muslim. It's like, initially I was Sunni, then we became more Berber influenced with syncretic folk traditions, where witchcraft is acceptable instead of being viewed as, you know, shunned or frowned upon, and all that. And we even did our own Oregon Trail, where we left Egypt to go to Morocco. Yes, our army traveled west, across the continent of North Africa, through the Sahara, through these desert corridors as part of the trans-Saharan trade routes, until we reached our destination, Sijamasa, which was a chaotic place to be. It was the Wild West in that part of Morocco. And then we settled things down from here when we expanded our holdings there. And then we became rich. And then we became more rich and more rich. Yes, it was the search for more money. Whoa, I didn't expect them to be in this part of the world, because normally, you know, because once you get past the Platte River, you're not going to see those bison anymore. Shoot them. All you need is one. All you need is one. Get shot or bitten or... And don't shoot too much, will you? Because you're going to start weighing up that wagon like it's nobody's business.
Well, I ain't sure which way we ought to go now.
Do tell.
According to this here guidebook, the right fork goes a rugged route where we have to cross the river 3 times. But the left fork takes us through some deep sand. Could even be quicksand.
You got any advice on that?
Darnation! I'm afeard that whichever way we go, we'll wind up regretting it. Might as well flip a coin and take our dad-blamed chances.
You know, that's what I might do. Yeah, I got my coin here. That's what we'll do. Good for reminding me.
Which way is west?
I wouldn't want to have to cross this river any more than I have to, especially with the trail as rough as it is around here.
It don't matter to me which way we go, long as it's going west.
Ah, you're all indecisive. Well, might as well flip a coin and take our dad-blamed chances. Well, let's take our dad-blamed chances. Best 2 out of 3. So, as per usual, heads deep sand, tails 3 crossings, 2 out of 3, let's flip! It's spinning. Still spinning. It's spinning. And first round goes to 3 crossings. And now here's flip number 2. And this is heads. Oh, come on. This happens to me every goddamn time. Where one gets the other and then one's that. It's just like professional wrestling with 2 out of 3 falls, where most of the matches where one guy gets one fall and the other gets a fall, and then you got to break the tie. Happens every dang time. Here's clip number 3. It's deep sands. Heads is deep sands. Let me pick up this coin. This is what I get for cutting my nails too short. Oh, yeah, I mentioned professional wrestling. Yeah. Oh boy. This week of wrestling has been nuts lately. I mean, me being an avid wrestling fan, still am to this day since 2005. Let me forward the room first. Where, you know, we had a great wrestling weekend. Well, the first half of it over on WWE, and over on its rival promotion, AEW, All Elite Wrestling, held their pay-per-view. And then one of its wrestlers said some things and did some things that other wrestlers were involved and led to fine. Well, there weren't any fines. There were suspensions. One was taken off the road. The other was injured during a main event match, which he won the title, but they have to vacate it. And the other guys that were suspended got their first belts of a newly created championship, only for it to be taken away because they were suspended. It's just chaos, right? I mean, I don't want to go over full details and all that with the inner workings of what the hell's been going on over there. I mean, that's what the wrestling media they cover all that stuff. I'm not the go-to source for this sort of things. I mean, you probably know this yourselves too. And if you're not in the know of the business, well then, suit yourself. It's just a crazy week, man. Crazy week of what it's been. But keep in mind, I'm recording it on September 8th. It's on a Thursday. The week's not over yet. So keep going. Stop stalling. You stop stalling up there too. Take the Sweetwater River crossing. River crossing? Me and my spinnerisms. Let me be honest with you. I slept late and I woke up late. That's what happened with me. So I'm not at 100% of everything. That's why I'm stammering a bit. God blasted. We're going to Rogue River Valley. So what do you say?
We need supplies, and Fort Bridger is a lot closer than Fort Hall.
Main route is longer, but the sublet cutoff is rougher and drier. Sounds like 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
We should take the sublet cutoff to Fort Hall. It's the shortest way.
According to our guidebook, this is the parting of the ways.
Yeah, tell me more.
Road forking off to the right leads directly to Fort Hall along the sublet cutoff. It's the shortest way to Oregon. But the left fork leads to Fort Bridger, which is closer than Fort Hall. It's also the shortest path to Utah and California.
What about South Oregon?
That depends on your needs. If you have plenty of supplies and don't fear a shortage of water, take the cutoff. But if you need supplies soon and want to play it safe, you should probably stick to the main trail, even if it is the longer route.
Well, everybody says sublet cutoff, so we'll go to sublet cutoff in a moment. Okay. Oh God, we made a mistake. It's snowing again. I know that area well.
Yes, neighbor, it's a sorrowful man you're meeting. I'm a-heading back home with the children.
What happened?
My wife took the cholera and died, and my youngest child was crushed after falling from the wagon. I'm turning home with a heap of sorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Makes no sense going on. This road has cost me dear, and I hear say till now has been the easy part. Turn back while you still got your people. No telling what calamity will hit you before you reach the new country.
Yeah. What you gonna do?
The river don't look so bad, but there's more'n a few graves round here. Tells me there's been some drownings. Either that, or the cholera.
How can you tell? It's all ice from here.
Gotta be honest, I don't rightly know how best to proceed on this one.
Do you have any advice?
I vote we take a rest while some of us go upstream to scout around a bit. If they don't find no better place to cross, we can send a man over right here to check it out.
You know, there's this thing, actually, that it did trigger a memory. Thing I should have done. Maybe I should do it in another Oregon Trail video, perhaps sooner rather than later, where you should do the whole trail without checking the river conditions. You be the judge, L0rdMasta. Don't tell what the others think of you. Just use your logic. Just look at the river, smell the river, drink the river, dip your head under the river, then you can judge how you can check the river conditions. And I'll just say, yep, it's pretty deep, all right. Let's float it. Or it's like, this river looks icy. Let's ford it. God damn it. And look where it got us. Oh my god. John Vega drowned. I didn't think he would be the first one to go. I was thinking Horatio, because it usually is the case, because the game hates me whenever I'm paired with Horatio.
Death is part of life. We must shore ourselves up and keep moving on.
I mean, John Vega didn't do nothing wrong. I mean, Gurak, Mingos, Horatio had bad things, but John Vega, he was innocent, yeah. He was 40, I believe. Yeah. When I was doing the naming of the party members, yeah, he was 40. So, John Vega, 40. He was a fucking kid. Sopranos reference. But we caught some fish because we did so. Cannot believe that John Vega died for us so we can catch some fish. When the ice opened up, fish came into our nets of the wagon and all that. But it's almost like as if, no, don't overthink it, L0rdMasta. It's not like John Vega could be one of those fish in reincarnation. It's not like when we put in the fish market that the fish is going to be started to talk to me and all that. But clean up for food. And salted as well. John Vega died for us to get us fish. Wow. No words. Other than what I've already said. Double team the animals, god damn it!
With good care, the injured animal may become useful once again.
Remember, each time an animal gets injured, if you continue as usual, that counts as a banded injured animal. And knowing it's raining out, I'll actually rest for 2 days. Oh, Thomas Fork River, I mean. Actually, is that guy here? No, because I believe there would have to be a toll bridge in later years, where he would say, "Hey, come over to my bridge, because you do not want to cross the Thomas Fork, because it may look, not wide, but it's as mean as a grizzly," as it says. Each time I look at that river, when he mentions mean as a grizzly, I can hear that river roar. And we just averted that disaster. And then we move on to the next disaster. Nearly at the 1,000th mile of our journey, Big Hill. Of course that would happen. Is the rifle still here? You don't have any gunpowder. That leads to another. Sheep Rock. Going to Fort Hall. We gotta buy some gunpowder. Can't hunt with no gunpowder. Oh yeah, it's been a while since I've seen you here. I just here for some gunpowder. You don't need to say anything. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of gunpowder in here. I mean, after all, it's a fort. It's a military establishment, alright? Because, in case there were attacks of, brigands and all that, you may want to keep everything loaded, alright? unless this is all for, it's like, nope, these bullets are, no, these bullets and gunpowder here are not government issued. They're all for sale because we're able to spare some of these things to you. So can you imagine if you have a wagon train full of armed to the teeth people with lots of bullets and gunpowder, and you'd be shooting the willy-nilly at anything? Imagine that. I could. But honestly, I just wish I could give up. Wait, do we have chains still? Yes, we still do. How y'all feeling? Good? Good. Let's raft this river. Raft this river. So let's head down to the old California Trail. City of Rocks.
They call this the City of Rocks because of all the strange rock formations. Kind of like buildings in a city.
Dude, tell me more.
I never seen nothing like this before.
Oh, that was it? I wasn't looking.
Well, the trail's mighty rough through here. Maybe we ought to slow our pace a bit, make it easier on the animals. Lessen the chances of wagon damage, too.
You know, that now that you said that, we haven't had a broken wagon part yet. Just cross your fingers. Let this be the first trail of all of my videos where a single wagon part doesn't get broken. It sure has tipped over and it swamped a few times, but never broken. Well, we're about to go through rough country, so this increases the chances of you jinxing it. Same. Anchor it. And off we go into the rough trail. And I hope to God that a wagon part doesn't get broken. Oh, I just remembered something else of what else I've watched. A few other things, yeah. Other notable things that I've watched. About a day before I started watching all those Avengers movies and all that. And this one is kind of infamous in some circles because of it's for a niche audience. Also, for the first time in my life, I watched all the episodes of Aeon Flux, that pretty radical animated series of its time by Peter Chung, I believe that was the creator. Which was quite something, that's all I gotta say. And of course, later that day, I did watch the Aeon Flux movie, the one with Charlize Theron, which to me, that movie was kind of meh to me, which is the nicest possible thing I could say because I'm never hardcore negative on things because I'm not a negative Nancy. And also, before we've watched all those movies, we did watch the Suicide Squad. Not Suicide Squad, the Suicide Squad. You know, the second movie of all this. And, wow, that was everything. Brother recommended me, Loki recommended that movie to me because of, it's like, well, it's the only, one of the very few, if not the only good DC movies that he actually enjoyed. I mean, he did enjoy Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman 84. I mean, I've never seen any of them. But again, only willing to watch those kind of movies if he were to bring DVDs into this here house, and then we do a watch along on that. Rather than me watching it on purpose, because I got my own, you know, list of movies for me to watch, which I'll keep that to myself. Unless I wish to bring it up here. Ah, gunpowder, right. Let's go hunting. Shit. Yay. Keep in mind, you're coming across territory where there's almost no big animals to speak of, and yet you're just wasting away. You're just pissing it away. That son of a beeswax! Oh, for a moment, I thought I heard the roar, which means mountain lion. There it is, the gravelly ford of the Humboldt River.
I don't like the looks of the river right now. Let's wait before crossing.
Yeah, sure do. It's only 1 foot. Can you imagine if somehow you tip over your wagon in the 1 foot river and then you got a character who's drowned in 1 foot river? I know people that were drowned in 2 feet river, but never a 1 foot river. That'd be the most unfortunate thing that's ever happened to whomever. Gurak is a bad cool. Here's some olive oil.
We should take some time to look it over. Might find something of use.
Better damn well be, or my name is... You know what I was hoping for inside of that wagon? A lottery ticket. I know lottery tickets don't exist in the 1800s, but I'm just saying. Because, can you imagine if LordMasta were to win a lottery? And what would LordMasta say about it if he were to win a lottery? Honestly, let me tell you. If I win a lottery, there's a lot of people that I want to tell them to kiss my ass. Yeah, I got my own enemies, and I don't want to mention them here. It's more real life than anything else.
I'm pretty sure this is where the Applegate cutoff splits away from the main road to California.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Tell me more.
If we go northwest from here, we'll head into northern California and southern Oregon.
See, I told you southern Oregon exists. People think I was bullshitting. So you have any advice?
There's deserts up ahead, whichever way we go. Maybe we ought to take advantage of some of this growth here and lay up some hay for our animals. They might need it.
They might need it.
I recommend that we take some time to put up some hay for the animals. They won't have any water to drink in the desert ahead, and hay can help them survive.
It's got our hay for the animals. 6 bales of hay, that's it? Well, then again, you don't have as much oxen as you usually take with them because you are a goddamn surveyor. That was your occupation. You were a surveyor. You survey things. You survey the land. I mean, look at this land that you're hunting in. Looks good, don't it? So I'm surveying it. And I'm surveying over here. And I am surveying this bird that I shot. And I'm surveying this here rifle as it's, you know, being locked, cocked, and loaded. Did I get that right in all that order? And then, bam, I survey that, survey this, and survey that. Survey that, you little prank, and survey this. Who else wants to be surveyed, huh? Come on, LordMasta, put some effort to your voice. Just say it with conviction. As soon as I see the next animal, of course. Oh yeah, I'll survey this. I'll survey that. Come on, I'll survey this one. Yeah, channel your inner Joe Pesci, LordMasta. Yeah, we surveyed that rabbit here. Yeah, we shot that little old bunny ears. 17 pounds of that, eh? There. Stop with that nonsense. Oh, we gotta go to the Applegate Road. So this trail and this video is almost over. This is actually gonna be one of the shorter videos that I've done in a while. Which is why I am contemplating on doing another video in the future. Well, by future, not like December, which will be the next 3 months, but I'm talking about within the month. I may do another one in the future. Because I still would love to do the trail where I would do the whole thing with don't check the conditions of every single river you cross. You gotta break that habit. I gotta break that habit. Just guess it. Even if it's raining out, just guess it. Here it is. Black Rock Desert. It's pretty cool out here, but really cold at night. Thanks. Nobody here but you.
Howdy. My pa says we're getting ready to go through a desert.
Yeah, do tell me more about this desert.
I'm scared. I've heard stories about people dying of thirst in deserts.
Why would people tell a story about the desert? I mean, if they were dead, you just don't tell them how they died. Just say, hey, we lost it. We lost it, that's all. Don't tell the reasons why. Or it's like, oh my God, I'm dying of thirst and all that. I mean, seriously, that's demoralizing for people who are going to be crossing this here desert. Now, do you have any advice?
I wish we wasn't going. Maybe you can talk to the other grown-ups, get them to change their minds.
Hey, I'm about to be 30. I'm about to be in the age group that would be considered as grown-ass man, alright? So, I can't get them to change their minds. Rogue River Valley is our destination, and that's where we will go. And since it's cool out, we're going to be traveling by the day. The sun ain't going to beat down the heat on us. We'll be fine. We'll be fine, they say. We'll be fine, they say. God dog it.
We ought to stop for a while. The animal may yet recover.
And guess what? We're going to rest here for 4 days this time. Let's sleep in the sands, just like those sogged-in trade caravans that, you know, Gurak is familiar with. How you doing, Gurak? You still got that bad cold? This is Paiute Peak here.
I'm Natalia Nyasnyakovich. My family is going to the big valley in the west, where there is so much good land.
Howdy.
We are from St. Petersburg. We have many great mountains in Russia, but not near where we lived. I have never seen such mountains as the ones here in America.
You have any advice?
At the next hills or mountains we come to, we will share with another wagon to do what they call double teaming animals. Maybe that will work well for you.
Well, the last 2 times that I did double teaming, they got injured. Would you like to trade? Just laughing at the fact that she mentioned double teaming, I'm like, yeah, we kind of screwed that up. You got any sets of clothing? Because I fear that we may have lost a... Oh, geez. You got a wardrobe full of them. I know. I'm asking to so just give me 2 sets. Well, since it's the middle of summer, I'll give away all the winter... That's quite a clothing tree. It's like, here, give me 2 sets of your clothing, and then I'll give you the 4 winter coats. There you go.
Saw the prettiest flowers along the way not too long back. I rejoiced in the beauty of creation, and gave thanks we've come through in safety thus far.
Flowers in this desert? Tell me more.
There's been a good many stirring sights along the trail, from the smallest flower to the great formations of rock and earth. I feel grand just to look on them.
You have any advice?
Enjoy the beauty around us each day. A thankful heart will carry you further than any other wealth you may possess.
Oh god, it's happening again. This old version of the game, which has a bit of a trade glitch, where glitch or bug or whatever, where all the items are the same, no matter which person you trade with. In fact, I'm going to show proof to you right now. Not giving you no rifle, none of this, none of that. Okay. Go to trade. Remember, bottles of basil. No, that's a different. Okay, maybe it's just when you do the screen, but if you do it out in the trail, then everybody's got the same items. And An error has occurred in your application. If you choose ignore, you should save and work in a new file. If you choose close, application will terminate. Well, I did save back there, so I mean, that's what I do. We'll get back to it in just a moment.
If we all pitch in, we can clear a path through these rocks in just a few hours. Let's get our tools.
His mouth ain't moving. Okay, let's just try to continue over the obstruction, and we did. Okay, that was a bit of a scary moment there. Got the dang old version of Oregon Trail 2. Here we are, High Rock Creek. You know, that sounds like a place in the Elder Scrolls. I mean, there is a nation called High Rock. I forget who was the home to High Rock. This is not a country where the I'm trying to remember these. I'm thinking either the orcs or goddamn, one of those elves. I mean, I know wood elves came from Valenwood. Dark elves come from Morrowind. High elves, I think they come from Somerset Isle, or is that the homeland of the Bretons? Hey, it's been a while since I did RP. I mean, when I last played Elder Scrolls Online, I just have my few go-to cities I like to go to. Especially Anvil, the murder capital of the world, because that's where the Dark Brotherhood is based from. Anyway, let's check this here river conditions. Now, I want you to remember, next time when you film Oregon Trail, L0rdMasta, don't check river conditions at all. Can we get unlucky for the 3rd time?
And you're dead! We ought to stop for a while.
Injured draft animal is no good to nobody. Shoot it.
What are you, superstitious or something? Oh my gosh. Every time I just double team these animals, they keep getting injured. If it happens for the 4th time, if you double team it one more time, that ox is gonna die, alright? You're gonna work it to death.
Back home, I used to enjoy nothing more than going hunting. Now I can't hardly abide it. I'm all wore out from the traveling and take no pleasure in the chase.
I used to join the middle and go hunting until I ran out of bullets or lost gunpowder or lost me rifle. That's from my experience, so do tell more.
Last week, a group went out a-hunting and didn't get back till quite late. They got lost and only found their way back by the barking of the dogs.
Advice?
Advice? Just follow your nose. If when you keep it pointed in the right direction, you'll accompany it to wherever you're going.
Mountain Pass. And then you go to Warner Mountains, named after Kurt Warner. And then there's Willow Creek, and I like how you just decide to anchor the wagon and then carefully go down this hill that doesn't look too steep at all. You can never be too sure about hills. Oh, fuck.
Well, what have we here?
Get out. The lake is taken over by the man with the knife. Can't stay here. He isn't here, is he? Good. You know, I like to hunt too, but maybe there's animals by the lake. For once. Shit. God dog it. Wait a minute. I only fired once, and then there's... Oh, I'm running out of bullets, so be careful where you shoot, alright? You need to stop acting like a... Like a what, Lord Master? Like a what? Like a goober. Blast. Oh, God. Have you missed that bear? He would have come kicked your ass. Except he already dead!
I recommend cleaning and dressing the wound. Maybe use a little alcohol or iodine.
Oh, I knew this would happen to me. I somehow felt this was coming. Man, imagine getting bit by an animal while this epic music's playing in the background and I'm just laughing at all. Because there's a good potential that I might die before we reach the end.
Shucks, animal bites ain't nothing to worry about. I've been bit a good 15, 20 times in my life. And I'm still going strong.
Yeah.
Glory be! I hope somebody's taken proper care of the wound. Clean it good. An animal bite can easily get infected.
You know, there is a small chance you may get rabies in this game. Hey, if you're watching this video, you told me once about you got rabies. After God knows how long you've been playing Oregon Trail, perhaps longer than I have. And I've been only playing it since 1999, off and on. Especially doing it every 3 months these days. And they say there's a small chance that you may get rabies. Which, of course, it's guaranteed death, basically. Much like consumption in the game, where there's no cure of it. You're just basically on borrowed time. So clean and dress the wound. Your arm's okay. I don't think Horatio's ever done that. Neither is Linnevelli. Women are always careful, and Horatio's just, you know, he's Horatio. He's an old man. He can look out for himself. We never had a broken wagon part throughout this entire trail. Can you believe that? What the? Took it over twice. Anyways, we made it to the end. Rogue River Valley. Despite the fact that I got bitten by a bear. So, Let's take a climb. Over 1,000 acres. Right on my birthday, September 11th. Happy 30th birthday, L0rdMasta. Wow. Final score. Holy shiznit. That's quite high for a surveyor. And you only had $26 to spare. And all 8 draft animals were present. Let's see what lies ahead. In 1846, L0rdMasta settled on 1,022 acres of land in an area that would later become part of the city of Medford, Oregon. After several years of only moderate success on the farm, L0rdMasta decided to move to a growing population center of Medford, establishing a small business that proved more stable and satisfying. A number of prominent names in Oregon history, politics, and society have been numbered among L0rdMasta's tenants, including a member of the U.S. House of Representatives, a prominent author, and a multi-millionaire founder of a company that will become the nation's largest manufacturer of board games. Hell yes. Board games. Epic! And also he had rabies and died. Well, that's where I landed here. One of these days I gotta reset the score, but no, keep it up. You did well. And so that's it for this Oregon Trail. Sure, I mean, I was a bit off my game, honestly. I wasn't at my usual self. I was just more of in a bit of a gratitude mode. This sort of thing. I wasn't too over the top, which you don't really need to be, honestly. You don't need to go try hard. Your comedic antics, so Masta. But hey, that bear bite moment really made it up for it. Yeah. So I think I should go on. I think I should record the next Oregon Trail in the future. So that means it's going to happen either later this month or early October for the next Oregon Trail. That's only if I find a hard and open time. So next time on Oregon Trail 2, we're just going to do it old school. Starting in April of 1848 from Independence to Oregon City. Kicking it old school. But the difference is don't ever check the river conditions. Make your own judgment. Yeah, we're gonna have fun with that. So just basically, just guess it. Break that habit of yours. You can do whatever you want on this trail, except checking the river conditions. Hell, don't even check the hill conditions either. They never change, so why bother? You know what the hill conditions are. But if it happens to be raining, or if it's cold out, well then, be the judge. Be yourself. So, we hope you people have enjoyed this Oregon Trail 2 video here on the L0rdMasta channel. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and whatever. And watch all the other Oregon Trail videos or all the other videos available here on the YouTube channel. So we'll see you in the next trail. And until then, so long for now.